Welcome back to The Rooted Lifestyle. We are your hosts, Camryn and Justus Woods.
Welcome back, everyone. It has been months.
It's been since September.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, geez. I thought it was like maybe, a couple of weeks, a month or two, but no, it's been...
Yeah, he was like early December. I was like, no, honey, it's been forever.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months since we uploaded another episode, and that's because life has just been all over the place. We've done a lot of cool stuff, a lot of fun stuff, but, we feel like our marriage, our relationship, kind of the life things came first before this. You could see that I'm still kind of new and rusty to all this, but, we wanted to bring our authentic selves to this podcast, and we felt like, if we didn't have anything good to say, then we're not going to fake it.
Wait, you're making it sound like we had a terrible few months.
No, I meant like we just had a lot going on, and it's like, if we were going to do this podcast, we didn't want to just do it like just to do it. We want to bring our authentic selves and bring everything that we do is like, 100%. So
yeah, we'll definitely talk about and recap kind of what we've been doing since September. It's been all good things, but like Justus said, we have been very, very busy, but
we're back. We're excited. We're ready to get going. New energy.
Yes.
New season.
New podcast cover.
New
location.
Yeah. If y'all
you can't tell.
Kind of see around here. We are currently sitting in our new home.
Which is crazy.
I thought we were going to say that together.
You were just looking at me like, are you going to say it? In our new home.
Our new home.
We are. So this room is actually like not even a bedroom or anything. We are kind of making it's a sunroom, and we're kind of making it into like a little filming room. We were like, oh, this is perfect. Because you guys know we love doing it on the couch. And we were like, we could do that, but the background's really overwhelming and distracting. So we were like, let's do it in here. Like, this is what this room is intended for. So it's actually perfect. But let's recap on how did we get into a house?
Yeah. So for the past few years, even before Camryn and I got married, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment, and we got married in 2023. Camryn moved in. So it was in a great apartment, a great location. Loved everything about it. Definitely was useful for the time, but we felt like, we're starting to establish more roots here in Dallas, and we need a little bit more space, a little bit more, space to grow our family soon to be. I felt like that was a pregnancy.
Soon to be. That sounded weird. Yeah, wait.
Okay, we're not having a child. We're not having a kid anytime soon. I'm just thinking of, for me, I like to think like long term of like, okay, if that does happen, if we do decide to expand our family and stuff, like we want the space for it.
His job, as you guys know, is very demanding, and he would just come home and sit beside me on the couch and work for hours. And I think that we kind of got to a breaking point of like, your quality of life when you're home is not a great quality of life. I was totally fine with me because I was like, it's his job. Well, no, but it was annoying.
Because even when I was working from home, I would work at home a lot, and you'd have to like crawl underneath me. And so like you couldn't be in the same room, because like my office was also the kitchen, was also the living room, was also her studio, was also, so like everything was in one space. So like you couldn't do a lot of the stuff that you are able to do now around here. Right. Now I have an office and everything. So it's just been so much better. So anyway, we decided to expand our space a little bit, but we are renting, we're not buying. Yes. And that decision came mostly because, we're still very young. We don't know if Dallas is going to be our home for like the long term. We obviously have no intention of like leaving right now, just because of our jobs and everything have kept us here, but you never know. So I think we were in searching for a home. We just couldn't really find anything in the range that we wanted, where we wanted it, and God opened up a door to where this house came up for rent, and we jumped on it immediately, because
we were looking at first. We were like, we should buy, like, it's a great investment. Even if we had to leave, we could rent the house out, all of that stuff. So we were like, it's fine. Like, let's just see what happens. We'll look to buy. We'll look to rent. And honestly, the deal breaker, at least with this house, was it is in the exact location that we wanted. We were like, it is the perfect location in Dallas. We're on the other side of the highway than where we were before. Both locations are great, but this one's just more, we're in a neighborhood. And it's great. It's very popular in Dallas. We can get to everywhere except for where you go every day. We'll talk about that in a second. But we can get to almost everywhere we need to go within like 15 minutes.
Our friends are right down the street, like literally like a kilometer away. So I mean, we go on walks together and stuff all the time. So it's been so fun. And I think the whole process of kind of choosing a house, and I don't remember if we talked about this or not because it's been so long, but kind of the whole process of us like choosing a house, we felt like, door after door was kind of getting slammed in our face. We didn't really have any peace or security from God around like what we should do next. And it was just crazy how quickly this house opened up. I kid you not, within 2 minutes of it being listed on Zillow, I reached out to the person to try to grab time to,
because we had an agent or realtor. We had a realtor looking for houses. We went on so many tours. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. So many tours for houses and stuff, and we were gonna maybe buy this one house because we really liked it, but it wasn't in the perfect location. I don't know. We just felt like if we weren't gonna do it if there wasn't like surrounding peace.
Yeah, and we just didn't feel at peace about any of the long-term purchase decisions that we were gonna do. So, but when this one came up, you know, we were going on a trip actually like the day after. So I was like, we have to do this now.
Where were we going?
I forgot.
December. Where did we go in December?
It was November.
Thanksgiving?
I was doing
Costa Rica.
Yes, I had to go. I had to go
Yes.
to Costa Rica for work.
Yes.
And you were going somewhere for a wedding.
I don't know,
you were
guys.
Going
it was so
but
long
basically,
ago.
it was like we had to do this that day, or we couldn't do it at all because it'll probably go away if we wait a week or so to like have time to think about it. So we didn't really think about it. We just did it, and yeah.
Your mic was like all the way down here. I was like, no one's gonna be able to hear you.
It was not dead.
It was far. It was far. But yes, so my iPad's falling. So we just like jumped on it and came and visited it, and we were like, okay, the cabinets are green, guys. The cabinets.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like obviously with buying a house, you can change what you like.
Yes.
Or what you don't like. Here with renting, you can't really change what you don't like. Yes. We have green cabinets. They're bright green. They're like Shrek
our kitchen
cabinets,
not our bathroom cabinets.
What
our kitchen
would not be the decision, the decor choice that we would make, but we're still very happy to be here. So
that's the thing. It's like we went from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom plus 2 office. Like we're technically in my office right now. Justus has his own office. We have 2 full bathrooms.
Yep.
Our bathroom is ginormous. It's just like blessing after blessing that we're like, this house has we have a real fireplace. Like this house just has everything, fenced in backyard. So if we wanted to get a dog, we could. Like just thing after thing that we were like, why would we say no? And let me tell you, it is a lot more expensive.
It is, but it's more expensive, but it's more affordable for what we get. Like where we want to be, everything else was so much more expensive that actually I would say on the flip side, this was on the cheaper side of like what we wanted.
That's true.
Because this area is like super. If you guys know like I don't know Dallas areas at all, like the areas closer to the city are like very 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 expensive. So
yeah. So thankfully we're here. Yeah. We love our house, and we know that like if we were also thinking in the apartment, we were like, okay, like what if we were to get pregnant or like wanted to get pregnant or accidentally whatever. We were like, oh my gosh, we can't have a baby in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like that'd be terrible.
We could, but it would suck.
It would be insane. So we were like, okay, we just want to make space. We want to host. We have like a hosting heart, or at least I do. I mean, you're not a host, but I love hosting.
She does.
And given our house is not really where we want it to be right now. I mean, we've been here for what, 2-3 months?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, it's not really where I want it to be for hosting, but we'll get there. And it just like is allowing so many more opportunities, like down the road of inviting people over, filming things, doing things in the house. So it's been great. But
speaking of down the road, or I guess, should we do a recap of what we've been up to, or should we talk about?
Let's talk about what we've been up to.
Okay. What have we been up to?
Literally nothing. Okay, our jobs.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great
huge.
point.
What have we been up to? We've changed jobs. Okay,
yeah.
You guys.
So we both got new jobs. I'll let Camryn go first. Talk about
why? Because yours is a bigger deal.
No, okay, fine. I'll go first. I'm gonna go first.
No.
I'm gonna go first.
I was at 2 different studios, and
I want to go first.
I'm going first.
Okay.
And there was one studio that was my first job. I don't know. Did I ever say where I worked? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
So there was just this one studio that I used to work at, and I kind of knew I was being taken advantage of like the whole time, but it was an amazing first job. Like I learned so much. I had great community. I met a lot of great people. It was really close to where we live, that sort of thing. So like no regrets in that regard, but the only maybe regret is staying as long as I did. Because I felt like I was just getting taken advantage of. Like I was just always offering to do things and like not really getting paid adequately, I would say. But it was great. Like it's fine. It is what it is. So I left in the new year. It was funny. We were doing New Year's resolutions, like a goal night with our friends before the new year, I'm assuming. Or was it after? I don't know. And we were like writing down our goals, and we like stood in front of everyone and said what our goals are for this next year. And one of my goals was to leave that old studio and to find another job where I could make the same, if not more money, because at that first studio, I was doing front desk and teaching. So it was like a fine, comfortable amount of income that I would be losing, obviously, if I left. And I don't know, I feel like the Lord lined it up perfectly I go to a different studio to take a class from a girl that I teach with. And she was like, are you looking for a new job? Like they're hiring, or like, I'll put in a good word for you or whatever. And then literally the next week I met with the owner. I didn't even like do a mock class or anything. And she's like, oh, like, yeah, like start working next week. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it all happened so fast.
It was crazy. I mean, it was literally just because of the Lord. And like the pay there is incredible compared to where I was. And I feel like I get treated there well. The community is more like-minded with me. And like, I just get to meet so many new people.
And your classes always get packed out now. I feel like it's just that studio is a little bit more of like the trendier one, the one that more people want to go to, the one that you see on TikTok all the time and stuff like that people post. So I feel like from that perspective and that point of view, there's more growth for you in terms of your brand and image at a studio like that versus the one that you did before. Just because it's a lot. That's just true. Better.
And I'm still at the other studio. So I'll just say the name. So Wesley is where I have been the longest. So it's almost been a year with Wesley. I left Yoga 6 and I'm teaching at Align Studio. So Wesley, I'm still there. I love it. I'm teaching burn and I'm actually in the process of hiring more burn instructors and like I'm training them, which is such a cool honor. They asked me to do that and I was like, I don't feel capable whatsoever of doing this. Like I'm a young instructor. Some of the girls I'm training have been teaching for 10 years and it's just like, wow, it's very humbling.
That just goes to show you, I'm going to brag on Camryn how there are so many people around here, how she's become such a like go-to instructor for so many girls around here and she's only been teaching for a year. Like that is when people talk about like you have like a calling and stuff like that, I truly believe that this is Camryn's calling is being like an instructor.
That's very
and it's really cool to watch her. I mean, I've been to some of her classes like recently and to be able to just see that all come together, you know. Really
Something
cool.
Just fell in
Something
our
just
house.
fell in our house.
I don't know what it was because no one's here.
I think it might have been the dryer because we're drying our sheets and stuff, so it probably knocked over some of that stuff.
Well, we'll figure it out.
But we'll figure that out afterwards because we're not stopping this.
But thank you so much, honey. That's really, really sweet of you to say. I do appreciate that. I'm waiting, though, for the day when I don't get nervous to teach. Because I'm still very nervous to teach every single time I do it. And I'm like, is this not going to get... It has gotten easier, though. I will say. It's gotten a lot easier. I used to, like, actually freak out and lose sleep over teaching, like, really packed classes. But anyways, those are, like, my biggest updates, I would say. I'm still doing YouTube. I'm trying to get more back into it. More back into it. Is that a sentence? And then social media. I've been, like, really trying to push my Instagram more, I would say, and, like, just be more vulnerable. Yeah, what's going on?
I don't really know what's going on.
Okay, why don't you go check it out?
And you keep talking.
And I keep talking.
She'll keep talking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, guys, I don't know. The sound like keeps going and going and we're just kind of like, what's going on? Hopefully no one's in the house. But who knows? Maybe we have a live audience. I don't really know. But I would just say all of the job updates that I have are truly, like I said, from the Lord because everything has just not really been falling into my lap because I have been wrestling with the Lord and like praying with the Lord for these past few months of like, where should I go with my job? Like, is this my calling? Do I feel capable of training instructors? Do I stay at this studio? Do I leave this studio? Just so much that I am very thankful for to have options. But it's kind of one of those things where when you do have a lot of options, it can get kind of stressful, which might be like a weird thing to say. But I think that anyone who's been in a situation where they have a few job offers, they're kind of like, okay, I don't really know where to go. But I can say that it has probably been a month and a half to 2 months since I have started this new job and left my first job and stayed at Wesley. And it has been amazing. It has been the most incredible thing ever. I'm teaching a lot right now. And with the classes that I teach hot sculpt. So I try to do the entire class with everyone just because I love working out. I love being able to move my body and I want to do it with people that I'm leading that through and leading with. So I don't know. I try to do the class a lot, but it really wears me out. Like I'm tired a lot of the time. So that's been kind of tough, but that's like the only negative thing that I would have to say. And it's not really negative. Like it's a good problem to be sore because of your job.
Oh yeah. Just how balancing between all that.
Yeah. But it's not the worst. What happened with the house? Are we good?
Yeah. It's just some stuff that fell. I tried to shove like all of our bedding into the dryer and
why did I let him be in charge of that? Yeah. I don't know. But that is my job update. Let's talk about yours. You got a big job update.
My job update. Okay. So it's like a short-term update.
True.
I would say. So for those of you who don't know, I was in consulting before, which meant working a lot of long hours. So my day would start anywhere between 9 a.m., typically 9 a.m. and end probably around 10, 11, sometimes past that. I've stayed up as late as like 2 a.m. sometimes. But through my job, I'm actually able to work for it. It's weird. It's called like, it's sort of like an internship, externship type of thing where I'm able to work for another company for 6 months to basically see if that's something that I want to do, see if it's, a job that I maybe want to transition into. And it's a cool opportunity that my job offers.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I was able to do that, or I have started that the last couple of weeks. But crazy because I'm actually working at Dude Perfect right now, which is actually insane because I know we're uploading this to YouTube and stuff, and they're like the OGs of YouTube. They started literally in 2010. Like when I kind of made the connection with the now CEO, I was like, the first question I asked, I was like, how do they even make money now? Like, what do they even do? Like, it's so cool. And I think,
because if you don't know what they are, they're like an entertainment group centered towards like younger boys.
They are.
They go on tour and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I explain it at the beginning. But now Justus is actually helping them like venture into other things.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know who Dude Perfect is, they started off doing like trick shot videos on YouTube, like these crazy ones. And it's kind of just evolved into this whole thing. And now they have a whole business there. And my job is now to kind of help them explore other business ventures and things like that they want to do in the near term and then in the long term as well. So it's really cool opportunity getting to actually work in like the content creation entertainment space and like plan those things out for those guys. And, all of them, everyone there is such an amazing group of guys and super genuine. So I've had so much fun working with them and kind of it's so funny, like before I'd work with like cabinets and work in like airlines and industrials, oil and gas, and now it's like I'm doing like entertainment content creation and stuff with like all these different big huge companies that you see every single day. So it's so cool. It's so cool, and I love it. The headquarters is insane. If you want to see it, you could actually look on YouTube. They posted a video of their headquarters in Frisco. So cool. It's like a football field there, a pickleball court, a gym.
I was gonna say it's in Frisco though, so this man drives.
Yeah, I did. It's in
anywhere
Frisco.
From 45 minutes to an hour and 15 every time to get up there, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But let's just talk about how getting to this point and how difficult getting to this point was, and how the Lord literally handed it to you.
Yeah.
After a season of frustration, patience, trying to find peace in the waiting of like externship opportunities or new job opportunities. Because Justus and I were both like under the understanding of like something needs to change within a year for your job, just of like in terms of our marriage relation, like your mental health. Not that you were like down bad necessarily,
but it's like
you
it's
weren't thriving.
Balancing between marriage and friendships, family, job, plus like all the exercise and stuff that I do, the content that I do on my own. It's like it was so much, and it was like I did it, but it's like it was over the top. It's not something you can do long term. And like Camryn was saying, like I was definitely in like deep prayer a lot for months and months. And it's like I'd get these opportunities and they'd just be slammed in my face. One in particular was really interesting. I had gotten an opportunity to work for this one really cool company. I'm not going to say exactly like who they are and stuff, but basically I was going through the interview process with them, and they were like, we're pausing hiring. We really want to hire you, but we just need to reassess and kind of figure things out for the new year. So I was like, okay, it seems like a no, but at least I'll wait until the new year. This was like, mind you, this was like the second to last round. Like I thought that they were about to hire me. And so I was like, okay, I'll wait until the new year. And I actually found out that they went out of business.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
No, it's crazy. They actually went out of business in the new year. And it's like, if I would have taken that job, if they would have hired me before the new year and I would have taken that job, I wouldn't have had a job.
It's one of those things where like all those like those funny graphics on Pinterest or on Safari or Google, whatever. I don't know why I said Safari. Where it's like the one side of the door that we see and the outcome that we think that it'll provide, and then God on the other side of the door being like, you have no idea what I'm saving you from. That was like the clearest picture of that I've ever seen in my life, because you would have 100% taken that job
because it was a cool job opportunity.
100%. It was amazing. It was like a cool company, whatever.
Yeah.
And then literally a month later, a couple weeks later, they are down bad.
Yeah.
In debt. Totally. Like the company is gone.
Yeah.
Lawsuits everywhere. And it's just like, can you even imagine being in that situation? And we had just gotten a house. And so our rent went up so much. Like we actually would have had to like drain our savings, I guess, to get out of our house. I don't even want to know. I can't even think about it. But like, the goodness of the Lord is in this story, like to a T. And so it's just crazy.
Yeah. Even with
all of that happened.
Yeah. Even with like the whole Dude Perfect thing, like I went through the interview process with them before the new year, and just for reasons, it just didn't work out at the time. And I honestly thought that I burned that bridge and I didn't hear anything back. It was just that it wasn't a good time for us for me to work there and stuff.
You didn't say it was financially. It just wasn't.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it just wasn't financially like a right time for us. Yeah. I think, and I think, I thought I burned that bridge, and that was such a cool opportunity getting to meet all those people there. So I was really bummed about that. And I think after that, I just got into a place of just like full surrender to God of like, okay, like I'm gonna still work, in my current job, the way that you would want me to work, Lord, like continuing to work hard, not like slacking off, and find the good in the struggle. And I think that's what kind of brought me through, is like finding the good in the struggle and knowing God is still good in the struggle. So I grinded out the last few months and stuff, and then the CEO actually reached back out to me from Dude Perfect, and they're like, hey, we can let's have another conversation and revisit. And we ended up coming to an agreement, and it was 100% a God thing. Like the fact that they came back months later and offered me that job, it was like such a blessing.
And they were like interviewing other people for this position, and they were like, we want you. And we're like, that is only God.
It is. So all to say is God has been so good to us these last, like, gosh, yes. we talk about our 20, and I don't even know if we talked about, I think we did like a year ago, we talked about our 2020, our goals for like the next year and stuff of our marriage. And so many things have happened. Both of us got new, really good jobs that we want. We have a house. We have friends. We have a community. We have a great church. We still have a great gym. So it's like all this stuff that God has given us has been, and it's not to brag or anything about what we have. And I think it's just to show that, like, being consistent in the good and in the bad, and like kind of, and still relying and trusting in God in those situations. It's like, when you're in a place of fully surrendering yourself to God, like He will show up in those moments. And
I was gonna say, it's like one of those things where you don't see on our side, but we are like praying all the time and like believing in miracles, asking for miracles, asking for the Lord to soften our hearts. Like we are surrendered to God, and so I do think that like He's just blessed us in so many ways so that we can sing His praises, because it's nothing that we've done. Truthfully, there's nothing that we've done that we can like claim the praise to. And so it's like all Jesus. And I think that that's the interesting thing, because you could hear this and be like, wow, they're bragging so much, like they have the best life ever. And it's like, no, we have our struggles. We still have our struggles every single day. And it's just like, I love to focus on the good. Like my thing is like finding the good in a lot of situations. And I think that's also how we got through your job hunting for a lot of it. And it was just like constantly reminding you of like, okay, but you do have an amazing job right now in this moment, and like hold on to that. But you came to that understanding and that surrender on your own, which is what the Lord wanted, I think. Yeah. And it's crazy because I even remember you like nights when you would come home when you were still struggling a lot. It was like we wouldn't really like talk that much because I could tell that something was wrong, like that sort of thing. And then like I could tell, I think it was within a week, like you just started acting very different in a good way. Like you were happier, more outgoing, more like interested in like the day-to-day. I don't really know. And then you told me, you were like, yeah, I feel like I've just given it all up to God because there's nothing I can do. Like I can't control it.
And we say all of this to say too, it's like I'm not taking credit for getting the job. Camryn's not taking credit for getting her job. We're not taking credit for getting this house, and I wouldn't begin to take credit for that because I don't even know how this happened. I don't know how any of this happened. No, if you told me like a recipe for how to end up working at Dude Perfect in Dallas, I don't know how to tell you that.
No.
No. It's all God. So I think that also say is we're in a really cool season, which is kind of why we've decided to, rekindle this podcast back again, because we have so much more exciting things that we want you guys to be along on the journey for, and kind of just thinking ahead into the future of the Woods family.
Absolutely. And we need to go back to that that one thing you said in the beginning that sounded like a pregnancy announcement. Oh, we're not thinking that right now. I mean, of course we don't necessarily have the choice. I mean, we kind of do, we kind of don't, but we're thinking like down the road a little bit. Give us a couple years, but we do want to expand the Woods family with a dog.
With a dog. Oh my gosh, y'all.
We do so badly.
We've watched a lot of dogs.
All golden retrievers.
All
golden retrievers. With golden retrievers.
Which is weird. You're right. It's all been golden retrievers.
Shout out to Remy, because I know Olivia
besides
listens.
Beans and Mango, but we've watched them.
But we go over there.
We go over there and watch them. But y'all, I don't know if this dog has some sort of like chemicals that like excrete from its body that made it. This is the most perfect. I'm gonna show a picture. Sorry for the people who.
I was about to say people aren't watching this.
Yeah, we're posting this on
people
YouTube.
who aren't watching this aren't gonna see.
For those of you who aren't watching it, go on YouTube and watch it if you want to see the actual picture. But I have to show this to you.
Okay, so she's one of our best friends, a married couple that we know from Auburn and Dallas. They just got a puppy. I don't even know how old she is, honestly.
Look at
She's
this
perfect.
dog.
Her eyes are huge.
English cream.
Oh my gosh, she's so
golden
perfect.
retriever. I that dog, I keep saying, altered my brain chemistry.
No, it did. Millie did.
Millie is the sweetest, kindest, most loving dog I think I've ever experienced in my life.
Me in dog form.
Yes, and that's why I want another one, because I just can't get enough of Camryn.
You liar. I'm kidding. No, you guys, I've never seen Justus. True. Like I have dogs back in Charlotte. You love those dogs.
Yes, I love them with all my heart.
I've never seen Justus take care of dogs like this. So Millie, sorry guys, we're kind of going on a tangent. Millie was like throwing up one of the nights.
And y'all,
Justus jumped out of bed. Cam, hey, Millie's throwing up. Can you help me out? I was like, who are you?
I sleep through thunderstorms. I sleep through. Camryn tries to wake me up. I don't move. But as soon as she started, it was like a mother's sense with a child. That's what I woke up and I was like, I need to take care of her.
You were ready for it. You were like, let's go.
And we only watched her for 2 days. 2 days was not enough. I keep joking with Sam and Sydney that I will be stealing them.
Yeah.
I'll be stealing Millie.
If Millie goes missing, it's because she's here.
It's because she's here. But also say that has given us the bug to want to get a dog soon. We have the space now for one, so we're going to start looking at breeders, start looking into it. I think we're thinking golden retriever.
Yeah, I would say so.
They're just...
Because my sister is like my sister actually has her own service dog, medical alert service dog, and he's a golden retriever.
Alice is perfect. Oh my gosh, he's so perfect.
I love him.
Yeah.
But he's back in Charlotte, and so Jordan is like super into the community of like good breeders and stuff like that. So we are looking to her for a lot of guidance for it.
She's found a lot of good breeders around the area and stuff. So we're going to start having those conversations. And hopefully in the next couple months.
Maybe we could record with
our
puppy.
Yeah.
Don't say the name.
We won't say the name.
Don't say the name.
Why do we say it like it's a kid? It's not a kid.
Okay,
people are like, you guys are such losers. It's just a dog.
We're such losers. Also, these outfits, I'm so sorry, but they're giving gender reveal. And I was like, I think they're clean and I like them. But I don't know. Let us know if you guys think it looks like a gender reveal. But okay, sorry about that tangent. We're just excited about
thinking
life.
Down the line. So we're thinking dog. What else are we thinking?
Down the line?
I guess just like what is in store for the Woods is.
I mean, like I have dreams with my career, but I don't know if we want to get into that.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have is a dog.
We want a dog. We want to host friends.
Yeah.
We just want to be more invested in our marriage and the Lord and what the Lord. I think we're just excited to see what the Lord has in store for us in Dallas.
Because we don't have a set plan of leaving. We've talked about obviously like going back home to where our families are when we talk about kids, but like we just don't feel like God is finished with us in Dallas yet. There's so many things and doors that he's opened up here that I feel like it just all lined up that I don't feel like, I mean, he could make it happen somewhere else, but it's just so interesting that the fact that I came here was more, not on a whim because it was probably a God thing too, but the fact that everything was so quick and random and how everything kind of in our lives has started to stack up. So we feel like, you know, we're ready for this new chapter here in Dallas and we're excited to share it with you guys and excited to bring you guys along.
Yes. And we have new updates coming soon in future podcast episodes that we've already planned out. So keep listening out for those. But thank you guys so much for listening in. And we're so glad to be back with you guys.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.